How about that?
Anywhere you are.
There's literally nothing like this in the world.
Support your PBS station and get Passport, your ticket to the best of PBS.
On the next Arizona Horizon, it's the Journalists' Roundtable. Some state Democrats go after one of their own in calling for a censure of Senator Kirsten Sinema, and Republicans are set to do battle with one another in a key Phoenix legislative district. It's the Journalists' Roundtable.
Washington Week is an island of civil discourse in a chaotic media environment. On Friday night, we gather the best reporters in the nation and have a conversation that's about informing the American people.
Washington Week.
All new tonight at 7 on Arizona PBS. Explore new ideas and new worlds here on Arizona PBS, a community service of Arizona State University.
Arizona PBS provides you great musical performances all year long. And now we have some of the best seats for you to see some of your favorite acts live and in concert. Arizona PBS Box Office presents a backstage pass for you to meet world-class performers and offers a chance to see exciting performances before they sell out. This month, Arizona PBS Box Office presents country music star Justin Moore, Sunday, October 20th at the Mesa Amphitheater.
Coming up next on Arizona PBS, Life and World.
Millions of people die every year from drinking dirty water. I would never have felt I had the ability to do something without ASU pushing me. We built filtration systems out of local materials with the people. To see those kids drink clean water for the first time, it's the most rewarding feeling that you can ever have. I went to ASU because I wanted to change the world. The thing I never would have expected is how the world would have changed me.
Arizona PBS celebrates a moment in time, made possible by Rock Springs Cafe. Before astronauts walked on the moon, they first took some giant leaps in northern Arizona. The Apollo 11 crew tested their skills and equipment on the surfaces of the Meteor Crater and Cinder Lake Crater Field.
Coming soon to Arizona PBS.
From nuclear testing to climate change, from behavioral psychology to social media addiction, discover the unexpected connections between the present and the past.
We have made history.
Science leads to some very worrisome questions.
I'm Celeste Headley.
And I'm Masoud Olafani.
Join us and commentator Andy Borowitz as we provide a deeper understanding of the issues that shape our lives.
Coming in October to Arizona PBS. Support for Arizona PBS comes from viewers like you and from
From the Cronkite Studios in downtown Phoenix, this is Cronkite News.
From Arizona to Washington, D.C., and from Perth to Paris, climate activists are taking part in a global climate strike right now in what's expected to be the biggest day of demonstrations in the planet's history.
Plus, what's behind the 16% spike in STD cases across the state?
And from the football field to the battlefield, meet the ASU player who's training to serve his country as a Navy SEAL.
Cronkite News starts now.
Good evening, I'm Ellie Nakamoto-White.
And I'm Anthony Totri. Thanks for joining us. Our big story tonight, the global climate strike.
Over 4,500 events are taking place today in over 130 countries, with hundreds of thousands of people protesting against inaction from world leaders on the current climate condition.
Activists and humanitarian groups are among those marching in the climate strike, as well as employees from Amazon and Google, pledging to stage walkouts in order to get their employers to curb their environmental impact.
We have full team coverage headed your way. Our crews in Phoenix, LA, and DC are standing by right now.
Let's go first to Jordan Evans here in Arizona, where hundreds of students marched to the Capitol as part of the youth climate strike.
Jordan, how did the strike get started?
So yeah, this is a movement that's been growing over the past 2 years, and the Arizona Youth Climate Strike is actually part of a national movement, with marches today happening here in Phoenix, Tucson, Flagstaff, all across the state, as well as across the entire country. Organizers say the strike here is about, quote, calling for the protection of restoration for 50% of the world's lands and oceans, including a halt to all deforestation by 2030.
I definitely believe it's the awareness part of it, because I feel people, if you can't make a solution without addressing the problem and identifying the actual problem. So you can have a strike and you can have people show up, but if you have people talking about stuff like way complex stuff like, oh, you should do this and buy this and plant trees, but they don't know why we're doing this or they don't know how we're doing this, and there's no point. I feel like the awareness and informing the audience is the most important part of this entire climate strike.
This strike happened ahead of Monday's United Nations Climate Summit in New York City. The UN Secretary General is asking world leaders to come up with plans to address global climate change by finding ways to stop the increase of greenhouse gas emissions by 2020. So the climate strike movement is taking place all around the world today, but here in the Valley, a handful of organizers are at the center of the movement, and that's where Cronkite News reporter Melanie Porter got a behind-the-scenes look at one of these leaders. Melanie?
Yeah, Jordan, and what's different about these protesters is that most of them are youth and their co-leaders are actually still in high school. I got to meet with one of the co-leaders to find out her motivation behind joining the movement. Aditi Narayanan comes across as your average, highly motivated teenager.
And then I either go to work or like theater rehearsal or something like that, or I go home and work on college absence jurors, and that's a normal day.
But Narayanan isn't an average teen. She's an activist for many causes, including trying to get lawmakers to pay attention to climate change. But she got started helping out with election campaigns in 2018.
And then I realized we had to hold our elected officials accountable. Like, whether they have an R or a D next to their name, it doesn't necessarily mean they'll be good for the climate or not. So I decided, like, we have to get into lobbying, we have to get into striking, we have to get into talking to press about our demands and our goals.
And when she was younger, we asked her what she wanted to be. She said she wanted to be the president. And so we were like, we didn't think she would do these things. And thankfully, we're seeing, her passion.
Narayanan is the co-leader for the Arizona Youth Climate Strike.
There's always climate activism stuff involved, whether it's like setting up for an interview or responding to emails or making sure we have insurance, or just like researching on legislation that we should be backing, researching on candidates we could be endorsing or start working with.
And she's been doing a lot of emailing, rallying, and organizing as the strike has gotten closer.
We've seen her passion and empathy for the causes she cares about. And in the coming few years, I see that as her preparing herself to act and make an impact on her passion and empathy, right?
And that passion is what drives Narayanan to make a way for herself, help others, and also help try and save the planet.
Even if we don't accomplish all the change that we want to, at least we're like improving the organizers, the volunteers, their lives, and the people who come to our events.
According to Narayanan, the Arizona climate strike has gained a lot of traction in this past year. She has big hopes that it will only continue to gain momentum as we progress through the year. In Phoenix, Melanie Porter, Cronkite News.
Here's a look at the climate strike march in LA today. Thousands of California children and teens skipped school to protest and answer the global call to action. The event was also well attended by toddlers being carried by parents and college students chanting, "Hey, hey, ho, ho, global warming has got to go, and we are the future," while waving signs.
After listening to speakers in Pershing Square, protesters took over the streets of downtown Los Angeles, blocking traffic. LA drivers responded with honks, some yelling for protesters to move out of the way, others raising a fist in solidarity. They marched 7 blocks to City Hall, where the protest continues at this hour. And even more crowds filled the streets of Washington, D.C. today.
Cronkite News reporter Kaylee Broussard went to the protest to talk to advocates in D.C. marching for change.
High school senior Amritha Karthikeyan helped organize today's Phoenix Climate Strike event, but she's not able to enjoy it. But that's okay with her because she was able to rally here in Washington instead.
She was one of thousands here in D.C. and hundreds of thousands around the country calling for urgent action on climate change.
We are the generation that has to deal with the problems that these
fossil fuel industries have created, so we are the ones that have to fight for it the most.
Carthikeyan has been with Arizona's Youth Climate Strike chapter since the beginning. She was in Washington for another event, but she wanted to march anyway, to help any way she can.
I felt really guilty, and I wanted to come to the DC climate strike to show my support.
Thousands like her flooded the National Mall demanding better climate policy. Skipping school and work, the protesters had a message for their elected officials, that they're tired of the status quo. Signs and flags took aim at corporations as well as government officials.
You know what sucks? The fact that we have to be out here doing what our parents and our politicians should have done 30 years ago.
Marchers heard from strikers around the world and activists of all ages. And one Phoenix protester said, that's the point.
In a few years, if things keep going the way that they are going, nobody's going to be able to go to school at all. So I don't have a problem with people skipping school to participate in something like this.
Now, today's rally is just the first of several planned for the D.C. area, with protesters vowing to shut down the Capitol next week. In Washington, Kaylee Broussard, Cronkite News.
Countless people are taking to social media to share their images and videos of the protest today. If you want to join the conversation, just use the hashtag #ClimateStrike.
And for continuing coverage on the global climate strike, follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and find us online at cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
Demonstrators are out in full force today for more than just climate change. Around 6,500 nurses in Arizona, Chicago, and California are also striking after contract negotiations broke down between Tenet Health and National Nurses United. Nurses at Chicago and California hospitals have been working under expired contracts for months, while Arizona Tenet Health nurses have been without contracts altogether for over 2 years. The union is looking to get new contracts, increase nurses' wages, and improve staffing levels.
New information tonight. According to an annual report conducted by the Arizona Department of Health Services, sexually transmitted diseases are on the rise in Arizona. But what is causing the increase? And what are the most common STDs people are contracting, and where can they get help? Ryan Mushkat has the story.
1 year ago, Francisco Garcia says he lived a nightmare.
A simple task to me going to the bathroom was impossible.
Impossible and painful, and he wasn't alone. According to an annual report conducted by the Arizona Department of Health Services, over 54,000 STD cases were confirmed in 2017. Between 2016 and 2017, Arizona increased 16% in STD cases. Chlamydia is the most commonly reported STD, with nearly 40,000 cases in Arizona in 2017. Gonorrhea increased 94% in the last 5 years. Brenda Thomas, the CEO of the Arizona Family Health Partnership, explains what's at the root of the problem.
I think a lot of it has to do with education. Our youth have not been educated about what an STD or an STI is. They might not know what causes it. If they do know what causes it, it's sex, and so that sometimes that is also stigmatized.
Counselor Yvette Alvarez of Wesley Health and Community Center agrees.
There are several factors regarding why somebody wouldn't want to get help with an STD, particularly around the idea of shame, but they oftentimes see a doctor like they do a parent, and so that authority figure keeps people from actually reaching out and getting the resources they need.
With sexually transmitted diseases and infections on the rise, there are people out there who want to help you and who want to stop the stigma that is associated with them. But you can also do your homework and get protected.
And we provide reproductive health care, STD, STI screening and testing, access to birth control, and cancer screenings.
And as for Garcia, he says he learned a valuable lesson.
You know, my best advice would be always seek medical attention. It's the best thing that's going to be for you. You're going to be able to go ahead and get the correct and professional treatment in order to fight any type of STD and just help you normalize your life back together, you know, so you can be able to enjoy the best things.
In Phoenix, Ryan Mushkat, Cronkite News.
New data regarding the Hispanic community and their health was released today in Phoenix. The event, Datos of the Arizona Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, highlighted alarming numbers in this community. Across the country, just in 2018, more than 39,000 Hispanics died from cancer and nearly 38,000 died from heart disease. 17% of Latinos lacked health insurance in 2015. Another relevant number is there are more uninsured Hispanic children compared to any other ethnic groups. Between 2016 and 2017, 16% of Hispanics were uninsured. Members of the panel spoke about these numbers and tried to find solutions.
Of course, we want people to be able to access the institutions and have the health coverage so that they can actually go to the doctor. And that really is just simplifying the fact of them having health insurance, them having enough means to meet copays and pay for their medications and things like that.
We're very busy at Equality Health, making sure that we get all the providers in the state at a level of cultural competence where they can take this on and improve the health outcomes for everyone in Arizona, all citizens.
Panelists from various organizations that participated in this event spoke about solutions like working together to reach underserved communities. They also highlighted the importance of collecting this type of data in order to find the root of the problem. We're now joined by the one and only Ricky Cornish for the weather.
Stop it.
Ricky, how you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Doing great. I think the weather treated us great this morning. Are these cool temps gonna be sticking around?
I think so. You know, we're gonna look at the forecast, and this morning I thought it was really cool outside too, and I'm hoping it stays. So if we actually take a look at our current temperatures right now across the state, especially for this time of year, it is really cool outside. We're actually sitting at 94 degrees right now in Phoenix, which is unbelievable. But if you take a look at the northern area of the state, just 68 degrees up in Flagstaff and 70 degrees at the Grand Canyon. So overall, it's still mid-September, but we're looking at some cool temperatures. If you're going out later tonight, maybe going to a nice dinner, going to a football game with the family, look at these temperatures that you're looking at for tonight. Now, it may be 95 degrees right around 5 p.m., but as you continue down the rest of the night, 84 degrees by the time the sun goes down. Unbelievable. So, you know, I'll be chilling outside tonight and not worrying about heat stroke. Now, if you're also thinking about some weekend plans, I have so much for you guys to check out. Arizona Restaurant Week kicks off today. So if you go to a nice dinner tonight, sit on the balcony, sit on the patio, because it'll be nice. Also, one of my all-time favorite comedians, Joe Coy, is going to be at Celebrity Theater tonight. So go and check him out. And then, of course, our newly ranked Sun Devils are going to compete against Colorado tomorrow. So if you look at the forecast for tomorrow, make sure you are excited and not worried about the heat. Stay hydrated. And then, of course, if we're taking a look at the forecast this weekend, it's still going to be a little hot, but then we're going to look at storm and rain chances for the entire week. In the Weather Center, Ricky Cornish, Cronkite News.
All right, thanks, Ricky. What does life look like for an athlete once their career is over?
While many of them don't have that answer, reporter Brady King introduces us to one ASU Sun Devil that has big plans for the future.
ASU tight end Tommy Hudson is enjoying his senior season with the Sun Devils. But once his playing days are over, he plans to trade in his cleats for combat boots and join the Navy SEALs.
Fallen in love with the grind of the Navy SEAL and their ethos and the way they go about living each day and their mental toughness and their fortitude. I think it's not matched in any branch in the military, and if you make it through that, I think you can make it through anything.
Teammates and coaches believe this is the perfect path for Hudson to pursue.
Like at the house, we're always playing Call of Duty, always going to like military movies and stuff like that. It's like I said, like it's an inspiration to see him do stuff like that. And like I said, like he's a huge competitor, so it's not really that surprising. So
I think his toughness, his intensity, and just his personality. You know, he's one of those driven young men that is very, very structured, and I think that would fit him well.
Hudson hasn't started training yet for the Navy SEALs, but in some ways, football is already preparing him for that process.
It just kind of gets your mindset as being a team player, never leaving someone behind. You're only as strong as your weakest link. These little life lessons that I think get elaborated on when you get into the military.
Hudson's dream to serve our country follows in the footsteps of Pat Tillman, Arizona hero who left his career in the NFL to enlist in the Army.
I think there's just something like that I need to go do for myself, to find out who I really am and just be able to say that I serve this country because it's done so many great things for me.
Hudson's time in Tempe is winding down, but his commitment to our country will leave a lasting impact on this Sun Devil team. In Tempe, I'm Brady King, Cronkite Sports.
Now for one of our top trending stories of the day, a Valley gun shop in Tempe selling out of AR-15s within hours of running a discount named for Democratic presidential candidate Beto O'Rourke.
This comes after O'Rourke announced his plan to ban the weapon nationwide, and gun manufacturer Colt decided to stop making them for consumer use. That's when the gun shop owner decided to take a jab at the Texas congressman by marking down prices on several AR-15 and AK-47 models.
They sold 200 rifles in just 4 hours. That's more guns than they usually sell in an entire month.
So we want to hear from you now. How do you think O'Rourke's statements will impact gun control policy? Just go to our Cronkite News Facebook page to join the heated debate. Coming up next, Cronkite News in Review.
We take a look back at some of our top stories from earlier this week, including details on a new report exposing just how much gun violence is costing Arizona.
And a squad of mushroom lovers in Tucson take us searching for the perfect batch before the monsoon season ends.
All of its children had come to the Mother Church of Country Music. It was almost like a badge of honor that you had to bring your culture with you to the table. That's why Bob Wills and his guys brought us Western music. That's why Hank Williams brought the South with him from honky tonks. Johnny Cash brought the black lamb dirt of Arkansas. Bill Monroe brought music out of Kentucky, bluegrass music. Willie Nelson brought his poetry from Texas. Patsy Cline brought her heartache from Virginia. I mean, it was the most wonderful parade of sons and daughters of America that brought their hearts and their souls and their experiences, and it gave us a great era in country music.
Welcome back to Cronkite News and Review. One of our top stories this week, the Arizona Supreme Court ruling a Phoenix ordinance that protects LGBTQ people from discrimination that violates the Arizona Constitution.
This decision coming after a legal battle involving 2 Phoenix-based artists who refused to create wedding invitations for same-sex couples in 2016. After Monday's ruling, the 2 business owners spoke.
Cronkite News reporter Marcela Bayeto was there and tells us what they had to say.
Artists Joanna Duca and Brianna Koski, owners of Brush and Nib Studio, sued the city of Phoenix, arguing its anti-discrimination ordinance violates their First Amendment and state constitutional rights to both free speech and religion. The city ordinance is intended to protect LGBTQ members of the community from discrimination. However, Duca and Koski sued in 2016, arguing it violates their religious rights. According to the business owners, creating wedding invitations for a same-sex couple would mean condoning the marriage. After today's Arizona Supreme Court ruling 4-3, both women and one of their attorneys say they look at this decision as a clear victory.
We cannot separate our faith from our art. They are deeply interwoven. What we create stems from who we are, and who we are stems from who God is and what He has done for us.
Regardless of one's view on marriage, this is a win for all citizens of Arizona.
However, the Human Rights Campaign, a civil rights organization, responded by saying that the Arizona Supreme Court just issued a license to discriminate against Arizona's LGBTQ community. Not only does this decision affect countless LGBTQ Arizonans, it sends a message about inclusivity to businesses and institutions seeking to invest in states that welcome all people. Today's decision could also open the door for discrimination against other communities protected by the ordinance, including religious minorities and women. It's worth noting the court's decision was carefully worded, not giving businesses protection if they decide to refuse serving clients on the basis of their sexual orientation. For example, Brush and Nib owners may still have to create place cards and signage that's not directly related to the marriage. Live in the broadcast center, Marcela Bayeto, Cronkite News.
A new report claims Arizona loses as much as 1.5% of the gross domestic product to the cost of gun violence annually.
The state-by-state study was done by the Giffords Law Center to prevent gun violence and was presented this week by House Democrats who renewed calls for new laws to prevent attacks like the spate of mass shootings last month.
The report was just one part of a day of partisan sparring across Capitol Hill Wednesday on the gun issue, with Republicans calling for improved mental health care.
You know what drives the evil and the mass killings that we see from time to time in this country? It isn't the instrumentality. It is evil in the hearts of somebody.
But while Biggs was defending the Second Amendment, Democrats like New York Congresswoman Carolyn Maloney were saying guns are the problem.
Let's never forget that the biggest, most tragic cost of all is the loss of a human life.
It came as the House Education and Labor Committee voted along party lines for a bill directing the Department of Education to track and report annually on school shootings. As of 2017, there have been more than 3,000 reported deaths from Alzheimer's in the state of Arizona. That's a 193% increase since 2000.
Cronkite News reporter Gabrielle Oliveira spoke to the Alzheimer's Association to find out what the future may hold when it comes to disease.
Every year, the Alzheimer's Association releases a facts and figures report. The latest report shows Arizona has the fastest growth rate for the Alzheimer's disease in the country. The report also projected that Arizona would score from nearly 37% to nearly 43% in dementia prevalence compared to other states in the years to come. This year, the projected number of Arizonans who have dementia is about 140,000. An estimated 5.8 million Americans live with Alzheimer's, and Arizona is currently preparing to deal with the increase of patients who live with the disease. According to Katie Scavarce, the communications director of the Alzheimer's Association's Desert Southwest chapter, the increase is due to many different factors.
One of the risk factors for dementia generally is age. So as you probably know, Arizona has a high aging population that also factors in the fact that many people retire to Arizona. So with the increased rate of people retiring to the state, that increases the numbers there, as well as that baby boomer population of probably 55 and older that are starting to age up to 65, and so you see a higher prevalence of the disease here.
The Alzheimer's Association encourages anyone with questions to call 800-272-3900. The Walk to End Alzheimer's will be later this year in various locations and dates across the state. From the Broadcast Center, Gabrielle Oliveira, Cronkite News.
Hikers on a popular Grand Canyon trail will have to take another path starting Monday. Crews are set to begin a months-long project to replace the aging pumps along the South Rim's famous Bright Angel Trail. The current water pumps date back to the 1960s and routinely go out. A dry monsoon is impacting fungi in a negative way.
Cronkite News reporter Melanie Porter went to Mount Lemmon near Tucson to find out how important mushrooms are to our ecosystem.
A delicacy thrives at the base of the forest floor.
What's fascinating to me about mushrooms is that there's so much that is still unknown about mushrooms. They are kind of like the final frontier of the natural sciences, the science we understand the least about.
Mushrooms are more than just a delicious pizza topping. They also bring balance to the forest.
The ecosystem, we need them. Mushrooms, just like the bees need the flowers. You know, the mushrooms provide the mycelium of the mushrooms for the trees.
And these mushrooms also bring people together through the Arizona Mushroom Society.
The adult idea of a Easter egg hunt, you know, when you find something that's new and you finally discover what it is, it's exciting.
Mushrooms are an essential part of the ecosystem because they're used to decompose things. However, with the shortened monsoon season, mushroom season is also at risk.
Mushrooms are going to come and go with the season and how much rain we get. And we had a great winter. It could have been a very productive summer if it had continued, but you know, you can't have it both times, so.
Mushroom forays happen all over the state of Arizona, from the Grand Canyon to the White Mountains to Mount Lemmon.
Yeah, some years are definitely spottier than others. It has not been the juiciest year.
This mushroom season hasn't been particularly ripe here in Tucson or in northern Arizona. Still, Arizona Mushroom Society members remain hopeful.
As we have learned, the mushrooms will do what they want to do when they want to do it. That's what we have learned. So we're just hoping, that our season still is not over yet. But it's going to start getting cold, and that's when the temperatures start to drop, the mushrooms hide.
But they also recognize that without the proper weather conditions, they'll have to say goodbye to these delicacies until next season. At Mount Lemmon, Melanie Porter, Cronkite News.
That's it for Cronkite News tonight.
For top Arizona stories anytime, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
I've taught history for 40 years, written books, launched a museum, and a podcast. I've learned history isn't only found in archives. No matter where I go, I see park rangers, curators, and activists reshaping how we understand the past.
That's what I'm talking about. That's why we preserve these great spaces.
Join me and let's discover the future of America's past.
For years after the massacre, horses wouldn't go near the spot where those bodies lay.
Porvenir is the last of a long set of killings.
All new tonight at 9 on Arizona PBS. Explore new ideas and new worlds here on Arizona PBS, a community service of Arizona State University.
You'll find there's never a dull moment in this house.
Welcome to Downton.
Downton is catching up with the times we live in.
This calls for a toast.
Coming up next on Arizona PBS, Life and World. When you want to be more connected, friend us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, watch us online.
Arizona PBS celebrates a moment in time, made possible by the Linkous Group, a registered financial advisor. The Lowell Observatory has uncovered many hidden treasures amongst the stars, from the discovery of Pluto to the rings of Uranus. The observatory has stood the test of time and continues to scan the skies today.
Coming soon to Arizona PBS.
Discover the unexpected connections between the present and the past.
We have made history.
I'm Celeste Headley.
And I'm Masood Olafani. Join us and commentator Andy Borowitz as we provide a deeper understanding of the issues that shape our lives.
Coming in October to Arizona PBS. Support for Arizona PBS comes from viewers like you and from
At Biltmore Loan, assets like diamonds, rare collectibles, or sports memorabilia can become cash. We respect your privacy and buy our loan on most things you own in Scottsdale or Chandler or online at BiltmoreLoan.com.
At Biltmore Loan, we say yes when the banks say no.
Deanne Griebel, now with Moores & Cabot Investments, serving investors since 1890, proudly supports quality programming on 8 Arizona PBS, 480-725-9602.
Coming up next on Arizona Horizon's Journalists Roundtable. State Supreme Court rules against a Phoenix discrimination ordinance in the case of 2 artists who refused to create same-sex